Threat!
The Avtomat Kalashnikova assault rifle, or AK for short, is one of the most popular guns in the world. From the scorching conflict zones of the Middle East to the frozen tundras of the Soviet Union, this weapon has become an icon of war. News2Share traveled to North Carolina to talk with Brandon Herrera, also known as the AK Guy, about widespread misconceptions with the gun and why it's becoming so popular here in the U.S.
The original AK-47 was decent, but it was a bit of a flop. And they did some design changes and things like that, and it morphed into what you see today, which is the AKM. 20 years ago, it was kind of taboo to own and be proud of owning an AK because it was such a commie thing. It was a commie weapon. A lot of people didn't like it, but now they're starting to embrace it.
Many Americans have embraced the AK despite sanctions against Russia that have made it difficult to obtain. Critics often speak out against semi-automatic weapons with large magazines, but Herrera says the AK is simply misunderstood. What do you think is the biggest misconception about AKs?
Oh, there's a couple of them. One is that they're child-seeking death machines. It's not true. None of my rifles have ever killed anybody. I hope that none of them ever will. That's the number one misconception. Usually they sit on a safe. They sit at somebody's bedside, waiting to use it, and hopefully they never will.
As we talked firearms with Herrera, he offered to give us a shot at trying these surprisingly simple weapons. After giving us a few pointers and showing us how to load the ammunition, we were ready to go.
We're here in North Carolina and we're shooting AKs with the AK Guy.
All the fresh bullet impacts should be you guys. You hit this target about 30 times.
30 times out of 40 rounds?
So not awful.
So generally the rounds are going to be weak, so they would crush upon impact of particularly a steel target. But
yes, a steel target like this, it's about ½ inch thick of some really nicely rated steel. It basically disintegrates upon impact.
Bullet fragment that's still hot.
It means you missed the fucking target is what it means.
What did Dr. Pepper do to deserve this fate?
He voted for Obama.
While Herrera enjoys shooting AKs, he says that these weapons are no laughing matter. For this North Carolina native, guns are about defending his homeland from federal overreach.
It's not about hunting. This is not about target shooting. This isn't about what we're doing today. This is about maintaining a civilian population that is extremely well armed to be able to resist any encroachment on a tyrannical federal government. And I think people have really lost touch on that.
Herrera also believes that most mass shootings could be prevented if more of the civilian population was armed. He points to the recent church shooting in South Carolina as a prime example.
In the Charleston shooting, if there were people in that church that were allowed to open and conceal carry, and you had actual carriers in that church, Mr. Roof would not be able to have killed as many people as he did. That Glock that he used is the same Glock I have on my hip right now. I have not killed anyone with this. I do not plan to kill anyone with this. And if the day comes where I have to kill someone with it, it will be in self-defense. If somebody out there can get it, I want it. If somebody's going to try to take me on, I want to be able to at least be on the same playing field.
Although many people disagree with Herrera's views, he plans to continue shooting, building, and introducing people to the world of AKs.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for joining us. I'm Brandon Herrera with the AK Guy.
I'm Ford Fisher.
And I'm Trey Yingst. News2Share, taking you there.